Hello and welcome to this video on the power of gratitude and how to raise your vibe using gratitude. So before I dive in, I just want to give you a little background on me. So my name is Bella Luna. I'm a spiritual life coach, modern mystic, healer, transformational facilitator, radical self-love advocate. But I am also someone who has really struggled with gratitude practices, with feeling grateful, with even wanting to bother with gratitude. So before you dismiss this video and thinking, it's just another lame stuff about gratitude, I don't care about gratitude, I'm so over gratitude, then please just stick with me a little longer because you might be surprised at some of the things I have to say. So I've struggled with my mental health for the last 20 years. I've experienced, the range of human emotions on the spectrum that you could possibly imagine. And when I'm in these lower vibes, right, it's really hard for me to hold on to gratitude or to even want to bother with it at all because I'm just consumed in my misery. I'm like, screw you and your gratitude. Like, I don't want to do a gratitude journal. I don't want to do a practice. And all these words are quite triggering and they just make me really resistant. And I'm like, no. But through persistence, through learning, through loving myself enough to give these things a try again and again and again, because I love myself enough to want to raise my vibe and to want to live my best life ever. I revisit these practices even when I'm resistant. Sometimes I let them go, sometimes I bring them back, because I think that is the ultimate act of self-love, is to continually try things over and over again, let things go when they don't serve you. But if you know that they're good for you, maybe give them another go. So I want to start off by just refreshing our memories on the fact that we are all made of energy, right? And we're all made of energy, and energy has a vibrational frequency. And all the different emotions have different vibrational frequencies. So things like fear, hate, shame, guilt, they all have really low vibes. And then feelings like love, laughter, joy, gratitude, they have really high vibes. So there's this dude called Dr. David Hawkins, who's a widely known authority within the fields of consciousness research and spirituality. And he created this emotional spectrum from low vibe to high vibe. And the spectrum goes up to 1,000. And true change in life doesn't happen until you reach about 200 on this spectrum of 1,000. So 200 is the point in which we're experiencing true courage and bravery, and that is where true change happens. So changing your life requires extreme amounts of bravery and courage. So I just want you to let that sink in for a minute and just remember that any kind of change in your life requires massive amounts of bravery. And then deep heartfelt gratitude actually happens sort of around maybe 900, 920, around there, which is really high towards that, end mark of 1,000. And when I say deep heartfelt gratitude, I really mean deep, full body gratitude. I'm not talking lip service gratitude, right? I'm not talking just listing off endless things that you're grateful for every night. Okay, so it's time for my gratitude practice before bed. What am I grateful for today? I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for the food I've had. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my clothes. I'm grateful for like all the things I think I should be grateful for, just listing them off one by one by one. I'm just listing them, right? It's like this emptiness. I'm not feeling them deep inside. So actually, it's better to think of just one thing that you're grateful for and let that thing completely engulf you, as opposed to list off 10 things that you're grateful for. So I just want to revisit the definition of gratitude. So the Oxford English Dictionary definition is the quality of being thankful, a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. And the example they give is, she expressed her gratitude to the committee for their support. So from this, I've determined that gratitude is an expression of appreciation and acknowledgement of something positive. So a lot of this is talking about an expression, right? So we're expressing, we have to verbalize it or actually think of it in our minds. So it's like a prayer or an affirmation or a statement or a journaling exercise, like, I am thankful for this. But I also want to add that it's so much more than this. It's the really feeling it and really connecting with it internally. So when used properly, gratitude really can be the bridge between hating your life, between being miserable, low, depressed, and bored, or flipping that coin over and bridging that gap and feeling truly content with what you've got. So I hear a lot of people talking about how lonely they are. And they're like, I feel so alone. I feel like no one cares about me. I feel like I don't have anyone, etc., etc. There seems to be a common theme among people, particularly the last couple of years since COVID, and we've all been a bit more isolated. But then within the same people, I hear them mention like, oh yeah, so I had a chat with my mum the other day, and I went out with this mate, and I hung out with my colleagues, and this, that, and the other. And so by saying I'm lonely, I don't have anyone, no one cares about me, you're dismissing all of those connections in your life, even the little ones, but bringing back gratitude to them, and being like, well, actually, I'm really grateful for the 5-minute conversation I had with my colleague when I walked into the office this morning. Or I'm really grateful for the half an hour coffee I had with my mum or my friend or my sister. Instead of focusing on the lack, right? Instead of focusing on what we don't have, it's really useful to focus on what we do have, because then the universe, you're showing the universe what you want, and the universe can give you more of that. So I do have a video on my Facebook and my YouTube channel called The Universe is a Mirror. So if you're not really following what I'm talking about, then check that video out, because it's really useful in understanding how the signals you're giving off to the universe is allowing them to mirror back to you what you want in life. So gratitude is the perfect way of showing the universe what you want, right? So in my life, I can be like, I'm really thankful for my house, universe, thank you for this house. You're telling the universe you love this house and that you don't want them to take it away from you. Whereas if I was going around being like, oh my God, I hate my house, it's so horrible, like I just don't like it, then the universe is going, take the house away, and I might lose my house. So if I'm showing gratitude for it, the universe is going, she likes this, give her more of it. And being grateful for what you've got doesn't mean that you can't desire more, right? Just because you're grateful to have, just because I'm grateful to have this house, doesn't mean that I don't want a nicer house. I'm just like, yeah, this is a really beautiful house. If you want to give me a more beautiful house, I'm totally open to that too. That showing the universe what you appreciate and therefore what you want, so that it can provide more of this to you. So if you're focusing on the lack of support and friendship and connection in your life, then you're not actually telling the universe what you want. You're telling it that you're unhappy. So if you're like, I had a really nice deep connection with chat with this person for 5 minutes this morning, the universe is like, she really liked that, let's give her more of it. Okay, let's give her another deep connection with someone else later on. Maybe we'll make it 10 minutes this time, or 20 minutes. So showing that gratitude helps bring more of it into your life. It also helps you realize what you've already got. When I first got here to Thailand, in the town that I'm living at the moment, I was feeling a bit lonely. I had a house and I didn't love it so much. It was a bit empty. It didn't have much decorations in it. I missed my stuff from home. I missed my friends and my family from home. And I was feeling very negative. And I was like, what if I've made a terrible mistake? But then, I make a friend, and I'm really grateful that I've made one connection. And I'm really grateful for this one conversation I've had. And I'm really grateful for the beautiful sunsets I get to see, and the fresh coconut, and the shakes, and the pad thai, and the really cheap massages. And like, I'm consciously thinking about all the little things that I've welcomed into my life since this move. And then it showed me more of this. And then I've allowed to raise my vibe within this gratitude. And now I literally can feel this gratitude like pouring out of me, like this endless source of like a love, a flowing river of love, right? And that didn't just come because, you know, because of all my gratitude journaling. It came because I decided what I wanted. I was grateful for things I had that were like what I wanted. I asked for more of that. I changed my life. I made upgrades. I moved halfway across the world. I put myself out there to make friends because I knew that the connection is what I'm grateful for. And I welcomed more of it into my life. And so one of the exercises I can suggest to help you feel that full body gratitude is to don't think about all the things you're grateful for. Just think about one. So focus on one thing really, really intensely until you feel that gratitude fill your entire being. So let's just try this now for a second. So think of one thing you're really grateful for: your home, your partner, your children, your dog, your cat, your colleague, your job, your health, your safety, a part of your body, a talent that you have, or a skill. Just think of anything that you're grateful for, an experience or an object. You know, maybe you're grateful for your warm shower, or your washing machine, or your oven, or your bath, or your bed, you know, anything like this. Focus on one thing really intensely. What would life be like without this thing? Without this talent, this person, this object, this attribute? What would life be like if you didn't have this? You know, if I didn't have this house, I'd be homeless. If I didn't have a warm shower, I'd be cold all the time. And believe it or not, the place I live in Thailand is actually really cold. I need a warm shower. I'm really grateful for having a 2-burner stove, because last time I lived in Thailand, I had 1-burner stove and it was really awkward to cook. I had to cook one thing and then another thing and then heat the first thing up and then heat the second thing up, and it was a nightmare. So now I think about, I'm so grateful to have 2 burners, because now I can like cook my rice and my vegetables at the same time, and it makes my life so much easier. And when I'm thinking about all of those aspects, it's like, I'm so grateful for this. When I think about the people in my life and how much they're there for me, how much fun I've been having with them, how deep a connection we've got, and all of those things, and I think about not having them, and I think about being lonely and not having anyone to call when I'm bored or sad, not having anyone to dance with, not having anyone to go for dinner with, I'm suddenly like, oh my God, I'm empty inside. So then I tune back in to the fact that I have these people to hang out with. I'm like, oh my God, thank you, universe, for these people. Thank you for these gorgeous friendships, these wider friendships, these close friendships, these deep connections, these fun connections. Thank you so much for the business connections I've made and the networking connections I've made, because this has really enhanced my life. So then the next step is to think about how it's enhanced your life. What has it given you? It's given me confidence, these friendships. It's given me fun. I'm having more fun than I've had in years, because I've got these wonderful connections to go and dance with, to drum with, to sing with, to play with, to laugh with, to chill with, to explore with, and go on adventures with. And these connections have enhanced my life just so, so powerfully. So when you follow these thoughts, you know, like, what would life be like without this thing? And then how has this thing enhanced my life? You're really going deeper into that gratitude, instead of just being like, yeah, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for ABC, I'm grateful for XYZ. Then it really allows it to sort of like fill you up from within. So if you have a gratitude practice and you find it really like just boring and, you know, like empty, maybe turn it into like a one thing, right? So like hand on heart, hand on womb space or belly, just breathing into that one thing and being like, wow, how all the, you know, follow the path of how it's enhanced your life, how it's improved your life, how your life is different from when you didn't have this thing. So I hope this has sort of helped you realize how much gratitude can really, really affect your mood, your vibration, your outlook on your life. It can change things from being, glass half full to glass half empty. And if this is something you want to achieve, if you want to raise your vibe, if you want to invite more abundance into your life, then gratitude really is the way to start. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, then please pop your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's it for now. So much love and infinite blessings from me. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.